evolution of a character or an object over time, or, in our case, on each frame. With experience, you can figure the spacing using the graph editor. But there are times where the graph editor becomes hard to read, and it's mostly used as a tool to build and tweak the spacing, not to read it. Fortunately, we can use Blender's motion path to read the spacing directly on screen. To display the motion path of an object, you need to have the object selected and then go to the object properties under motion path and click calculate. Don't worry, we'll go over all the options editor. But there are times where the graph editor becomes hard to read, and it's mostly used as a tool to build and tweak the spacing, not to read it. Fortunately, we can use Blender's motion path to read the spacing directly on screen. To display the motion path of an object, you need to have the object selected and then go to the object properties under motion path and click calculate. Don't worry, we'll go over all the options a little later on. When I confirm, we can see the motion path appearing along the origin point of our object. The motion path shows the position of the origin point of an object on each frame. This is shown as white dots. The orange dots with a number represent the keyframe of the animated object. Before we go any further, I'd like to give a shout out to ShipIt, a free collaborative render farm for Blender. This video is not sponsored by ShipIt, I'm just helping Alekin, one of our community members, spreading the word. For more information, you can find tutorials from my dear Manu Havinen for Creative Shrimp that will guide you on how to use it. Link in the description. Getting a good animation definitely relies on spacing, but also on arcs drawn by your character's features or any object spot you're trying to animate. If you're an animator or you want to be one, you probably saw the bouncing ball example 1,000 times. The ball draws nice arcs on the screen. But this is true for anything in animation. When a movement is not interrupted by an impact, a bounce, a hit, it will most certainly draw an arc. That's why you'll need to be able to track them. Check this animation I did with the Crimson Ronin character. You can learn to create this character and rig it with my courses on p2designacademy.com. See how the motion path draws nice curve, and I can also read the spacing between each frames. Let's have a closer look to how the motion path works. First of all, and that's a common mistake from my students, when you want to track the arcs of a character rig, get to go into the armature properties, not in the object properties. If you calculate the motion path from the object properties of the armature, it will calculate the position of the origin point of the armature and it won't be moving basically. But if you switch to pose mode and you go into the armature properties, you will be able to calculate the motion path of the selected bone. So let's do that together. By the way, you can get the Crimson Ronin rig for free on p2designacademy.com. In pose mode, I will select the hand bone. You can do that with any bone. I press Shift H to hide all the other bones. I now go to the armature property and expand the motion path panel. By default, the path type is set to in range, and by default, the calculation range is the scene range. So in this specific case, from frame 0 to frame 320. When hitting the calculate button, a contextual menu pops up with the same option we just covered. But there is an additional one called the bake location, which is specific to bones. It allows you to choose whether you will be tracking the head or the tip or tail of the bone. If I enter edit mode on the armature, you can see the octahedral shape of the bones. This part is the tail or tip of the bone, and this one is the head of the bone. You're just telling Blender to draw the motion path from one or the other of those 2 points. While the bone here is displayed as a custom shape, its structure still features a head and a tip. Let's hit the calculate button and confirm. The motion path finally appears in our 3D viewport. Each white dot represents the position of the head of our hand bone on each frame. And by default, a blue line is connecting those points in the timeline order. The point from frame 1 is connecting to the point from frame 2, etc. Within the motion path panel, there is another panel called Display. Here you can access some handy additional options. If you choose to display the keyframes, some of the motion path points will turn to orange. And since the keyframe numbers option is enabled, I can see the keyframe number next to its position. On my timeline, we can see that for this specific bone, I have a keyframe on frame 210. This keyframe is identified on the motion path. I also have a keyframe for frame 211, but I don't have any keyframe for frame 212. I can see a white dot tracking the position of the bone on this specific frame, but there's no frame number next to it. If I enable the option frame numbers, now all the frames have a number to identify them. Let's zoom in a bit. Now you can see that each dot on the motion path has a number, but when this frame is not a keyframe, it will be displayed in white instead of orange. The current frame that is being played is shown in blue. One of my favorite options allows us to change the thickness of the motion path and give it
Yeah, Pierre, he's awesome.
color. By itself, you may think that's not a big deal, but when you're tracking multiple bones at the same time, let me calculate the motion path of this palm bone. I will select it, and instead of going into the panel, I will press the Q key. This gives me access to my quick favorites where I've stored the option calculate motion path. I'll show it to you in a few seconds. When the motion path of this palm bone, I will select it, and instead of
Oh, I'm muted. Did you hear any of that? I think I was unmuted when I said that.
going into the panel, I will press the Q key. This gives me access to my quick favorites where I've stored the option calculate motion.
Oh, I was just saying I'm gonna work on upgrades for the ship and stuff today. Later today. I don't think there's any polypop stuff I might ask or need or help with. I'm trying to think if there's something. I know I probably can integrate some more mix it up stuff. I know I can integrate probably some more mix it up stuff. Figure out some things. We'll see. If I spend like 30 minutes thinking about it in the background while I'm working on stuff, I'll come. I know I have a few things written down, but I just gotta go over it all. Anyways, I hope you're doing good today, brother. I hope all's well in your hemisphere.
I'll show it to you in a few seconds. When a bone is selected, you can give its motion path. I will select it, and instead of going into the panel, I will press the Q key. This gives me access to my quick favorites where I've stored the option calculate motion path. I'll show it to you in a few seconds. When a bone is selected, you can give its motion path any color you want. And it's way easier that way than having all the motion path with the same color. To add any operator or tool to the quick favorite.
Dang, that's no fun. That's Better than rats, I guess. Who's your main in Smash?
Simply right click on the button and choose Add to Quick Favorite. From there, when pressing the Q key, depending on the context, here in pause mode, the Quick Favorite menu will pop up and you'll find any operation you
I see.
In my case, I stored the Calculate, Update All Path and Clear Bone Path. And
I think I haven't played all of the roster in Ultimate, even though Ultimate has such a banging roster. It's pretty awesome. But the character I did play with a little bit and I kind of liked was the Castlevania guys. Simon, or I forget the other guy's name is. Whatever. But yeah, those guys. I always played Captain Falcon, but he got faster. I had to play like Smash more in order to get good with Captain Falcon. He's kind of predictable. Yeah, I like his moveset. He's got range. He's got good, solid attacks. His projectiles are pretty heavy too, which I like. He's got some good edge guard game too.
And if I click the last one, guess what? It will get rid of all the motion path that I've calculated. Just a little side note, the Quick Favorite menu is contextual. If I'm editing the mesh of the character and I press Q, you can see that I have other options. These are operations I use a lot in edit mode, so I add them as quick favorites. Let's have a look to the path type of calculated. Guess what? It will get rid of all the motion path that I've calculated. Just a little side note, the Quick Favorite menu is contextual. If I'm editing the mesh of the character and I press Q, you can see that I have other options. These are operations I use a lot in edit mode, so I add them as quick favorites. Let's have a look to the path type options and the calculation range. I will work on the control torso of my character, and I will switch the calculation range to selected keys. I will now box select some keyframe on my timeline, and I will calculate the motion path, whether using my quick favorites or through the motion path panel. The motion path will appear with its default color, and we can see that the cached range corresponds to the keys I've selected. If I switch to manual range, I can choose the starting and ending frame of the motion path calculation. So I will type in 1 to 200 and click. I will switch back to scene range and recalculate the motion path. Not with that range for sure. I prefer to use 5 to 5 before and after, or 10 editor or the action editor. You can see that it doesn't update. I need to go to when auto-keying is on, as soon as you move a controller, the motion path will automatically update. But if I edit my animation through the graph editor or the action editor, you can see that it doesn't update. I need to go to the motion path panel and click update path. That's why again I advise you to use a quick favorites. Now if I edit my motion with the graph editor and then move any other bone, it will also update the motion path. Computation-wise, the motion path can be pretty heavy, especially if you're working on long animations. You can reduce the motion path range to prevent any lagging. I hope my contents helped you, and if so, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave a nice comment. You already know this is the best way to help me growing this YouTube channel. Now the question I'd like to address is when to use the motion path. I generally don't use it on the very first pose I'm creating, but I definitely use it during the blocking stage. Basically, I will track the center of gravity of my character pretty early on during the animation process. And then when I switch to spline and work with the graph editor, I will use it like almost all the time. When you're animating to the camera for a short animation or a feature film, you should always check your motion path from the camera point of view. If I take this animation I did for my animation course Alive, when I'm tracking the tip of the sword to create a nice arc, I do it from the camera point of view. Because whatever the solution, you need it to look right from the camera point of view. If you're on Twitter, you probably saw this post that perfectly illustrates what I'm saying. If you're animating for games, on the other hand, this post that perfectly illustrates what I'm saying. If you're on Twitter, you probably saw this post that perfectly illustrate what I'm saying. If you're animating for games, on the other hand, you need to make sure that your arcs and motion path looks good from the main game point of view, but you should also check it from all angles. Depending on the camera freedom, the player will be able to turn around the character, and it will be a bummer that your animation doesn't look good from this angle. Blender's animation tools are being developed and improved by the animation module team. Anybody can join the animation module, so if you think that you can help, just join. Blender sure needs developers, but we also need animators, riggers, or whatever Blender user you are to test the different builds and the different new features. One of the features we'd like to be developed is some kind of interactive motion path, where we could maybe edit it as a curve, for example. There's an existing add-on that does that. I never really tested it, but I think it's pretty limited for the time being. But interactive motion path to me is really one of the future tools of Blender. This is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next.
That last tool, editing a motion path as a curve is pretty freaking insane. Where's that?
Tool of Blender. This is limited for the time.
Motion Trail 3D. Let's see if we haven't updated it. Well, that's actually pretty damn cool. I haven't looked at Blender things in a minute. I can't get too caught up in that yet. Since energy works. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's get back to the projects we got today. Once we got to knock out. Today is the day. Shout out to anybody who's watching the stream right now. Appreciate you, Yuri, whoever else. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think it's fun if game developers, do something a little out of the ordinary, or at least you can play the game to unlock something new rather than having to just pay for stuff. But I would think Nerf, they should do more than just one pistol. They should do like a few guns. Destiny's a huge brand. Or, that's cool though. I'll have to look at it when you get it or whatever. That Death Sprint game I was playing last night was actually really fun. Man, that's lame. Why they make stuff so expensive? It's an in-game item. That's wild.
This is my second project in Blender, and here's how I made it. This is for a CG community challenge, and so I have a month to turn this into this. So first things first is I need to create my character. Set up my camera, scan myself, then using FaceGen, make a model of my face. Then I imported the model into DAZ Studio, model my rough body shape, with reference images of course, go to Mixamo, upload my DAZ model, import into Blender, fix it, and now it's time to block out the environment. Whilst doing so, started to download a bunch of assets and kit bash them together for my exterior. It was on to simulating the main part, which was the destruction. To do this, I used RBD Labs and spent several days troubleshooting broken physics. My first time animating a character, so I used reference footage of myself to reanimate the upper torso by hand. To get myself dressed, I used Marvelous Designer, made sure I had to widen the pants for my gat, imported the animation, struggled to dress myself, and then finally make the cloth sim. Give myself a low taper fade, add some dust sim using Embergen. And finally, after 3 weeks and 100 hours, here's my second project in Blender. This is my first project in Blender, and this is how it's made. Firstly, I camera tracked the scene for reference using After Effects. Then I spent weeks learning Blender and modeled half of it by hand. Then I got bored of modeling, so I photo scanned the other half of the objects using reality capture. Spent another 2 weeks learning how to make PBR textures for every fucking object. After the room was completely one-to-one remade, it is now car time. Downloaded a model of GTR, rigged it, animated it, took it into Embergen and simmed the tire smoke. Then I scrapped the tracked camera from an FPV drone style animation because at this point, what's more endless hours in this project, right? So after that, I needed some realistic sound design. Couldn't find it, found it, was on GitHub. It was a drivable engine simulation. Read the documentation, live recorded the engine noise. Then I took it into Fusion, comped it together with some post-processing effects like bloom and lens characteristics. Then color graded it using DaVinci Resolve and the Hansen plugin. Then, after a month, my first render was done. This is my first project in Blender, and
Like my bitches are coming too. That's my role. You're so full. If you think that you're bull, but it's not to me like glue. Don't rock this. Okay, not rock one. Okay, don't rock two. Boost those goods. Okay, that's my. Like my bitches are coming too. That's my role.
Oh, I've been muted the whole time. I was just talking about how incredible all this is. I'll be right back.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's
How's it
going
going?
on? Guys, we've done it. We've come a long way. Come a very, very long way. It's been a month of people working hard
Yeah.
and a month and a half of setting up this challenge. And we are here. We are finally here. It's good to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
This is sweet. I am so amped to be a part of this because every single one of these challenges so far has been mind blowing. I've watched them multiple times with so many people. It is like, it's so cool to like actually, join you for this.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Like, we're on our 9th challenge. This is our 9th 3D community
That's
challenge.
crazy.
And like, god dang, I'm really glad to have you guys on this. And thank you for helping set this up. We're doing it live here. We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Despite
Despite
my chunky voice.
this was what I was like.
I'm impressed that you like just powered up and like are making it happen.
Oh, geez. Oh, man. We got to do it. The show must go on.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Yeah. I've been seeing people's test renders pop up over this month, like just on YouTube, like algorithmically fed to me. And then as we sat down and looked at these, I've been completely blown away by like how amazing pretty much all of them are.
Yeah, it's nuts. There's
Yeah.
like so many incredible renders. Like even on the countdown too. Like there's just, I'm like overloaded. I'm just in awe of how many talented people exist on this planet.
I know, it's crazy. Like, we have people from over 100 countries submit to the challenge.
So
Wow.
there's over 100 countries. Dang.
Yeah, I was like, how many countries are there? I don't know. No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna watch all 100 renders,
Okay.
right? You know, you guys saw them the other day. We picked our winners. We're not gonna announce any winners until the end. We're just gonna go straight through, kind of react to each render here, talk about each render for a couple minutes. There's 100 of them, so we gotta move, and maybe a little critique, a little feedback for
Yeah,
each artist,
totally.
just for them to work on stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, so everyone here, everyone in this top 100, you guys walk away with some awesome prizes. So let me just go through that list really quick. So the top 100, starting with CG Pro, you guys get their Intro to Unreal Engine course. It's a pre-edited course, so that's all yours. Jenga Effects, you get their entire Elemental suite for 2 months. So that's GeoGen, EmberGen, LiquidGen. Kitbash 3D, you get one Kitbash 3D prop kit of your choice between city streets, highways, high-tech streets, secret labs, and spaceships. Marvelous Designers got you with 2 months plus $15 towards their Connect store. Candy Keys, you got 20% off for anything on over there. Caft is giving you guys a t-shirt code, so any t-shirt you want on Caft, that's yours. As well as they're giving $1,000 to one of these top 100 artists and making a shirt based off of their render. And then we got Fox Render Farm giving out $100 to each of the top 100. So everyone getting their art shown here today. Yeah, you guys get all that stuff. And then we'll get into the winners when we get to the winners at the end. So I think without further ado, I think it's time we kick this off.
All right.
We got the first render, Lupin.
Oh man.
This is,
Sick.
I'm gonna butcher some names today, guys. Malik Arjun Patil from Australia.
I love the directional explosion, the intent behind it
It's so cool.
to like propel things forwards.
Yeah.
The sunbeam coming through like the skyscrapers. in
Yeah, the
background.
volumetric light in the background is a nice touch.
See that Ferris wheel with the plants on it?
It really is. It looks very beautiful. The fog is like, yeah, those volumetrics are killing it.
Yeah, good use of volumetrics all around. Like haze in the distance, smoke in the distance, fog, explosions, dust coming up.
Look at the engines on the ship, like the turbulent blue heat, like
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so cool.
it's super cool.
really nice.
Now, the punch out works too. The like little zoom out on the explosion, I think is fun.
That's the thing, you know. It's like you set yourself up for the Zack Snyder zooms with this challenge. You know, running profile. It's like, man, it's so fun to play with that focal length.
Yeah, this time is like, this is the first challenge where we're like, okay, not touching the camera is not a rule. So like, technically you guys you can touch the camera, and we'll see, you know, how people touch the camera in a bunch of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This I thought was a nice subtle touch. Is very nice. Any feedback? Like what would you guys do to improve this?
The only two critiques I would add, and I only add these respectfully, like this is great.
Yeah, of course, guys. Like, it's really difficult, and that's why we're like, we didn't do critiques for the longest time, but the artist asked for it, so.
Okay, so the guy shooting the rifle, the big rifle at the beginning,
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing any effect of that shooting rifle on the character. I'd love to see, if it's a giant rifle, I'd love to see boom, 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 boom as he's running with it, you know, the
It's a
body
little
shake.
lightweight. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he just kind of holds it there and just the bullets come out without any kickback. And the only other suggestion I would say is if the camera's that snappy on the zoom, I'd love to just see a little more life to it.
Shake
It doesn't necessarily need to be like shake. Like it could still be like precise if that's what the artist wants. But like it's a little kind of just locked in and then it's really alive and it's locked in and it's really alive and it's locked in. And just a little more like constantly being alive. A few more camera interactions would be nice.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, my only 2 cents on this are, you know, there's a lot going on in the scene. There's a lot of detail. And right now, I feel like you might be able to actually get a little more out of the shot with some additional lighting. You know, whether you create some more light sources, like, you know, there's this other, like, copter taking off in the background. Maybe, like, add some thrusters to that or something to light it up. Or, you know, because also the character's, like, running past this dark smoke cloud while he's kind of unlit, too. So it's like, once again, it's not like stuff that would ruin it, but it is definitely things. Sorry, like none of this is bad. It's just I feel like you could see a little bit more. Probably.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like silhouetted nicely against the sunlight there.
Yeah, the jump's good. Yeah.
Second half with the fire. First half is just dark with the smoke. Maybe just edge light them a little bit or something there in the beginning. But that's it. We're moving on. Next up, we got Ben. Let's get you, Ben.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what a little cutie.
From
Man,
Australia.
what a great render. The like light playing off the fuzz on the cap.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
This one is so cool. It's like it's got the tactile, realistic kind of feel to it, where everything's got like a very photoreal level of texture to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like I could see like some hands getting in there and setting up the character a little bit.
And that whatever like method they're using for the depth of field is really good because I'm seeing the actual like bokeh,
like the anamorphic.
It's it's like I'm seeing like the squeeze happening as it goes side to side on the frame rather than just like staying the same shape. It's very like the lensing of this is like really good.
Yeah, and there's nice subtle color variations in that bokeh as well. Another thing that's really nice is the all the secondary motion, but it's all been like, you know, all, like the wiggles and the ear tips and the hair and the the hat and the backpack and even the stuff in the basket. It's you know, it's all secondary, but like it's dialed in so that it wiggles really fast to really emphasize that it's tiny.
Yeah.
So good job of dialing it into the proper scale because it's hard to dial in those physics to be like the right scale representation, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It's perfect. Like I would love this movie or this game or what. I would love more of this world, Ben. This is so good. The colors too. The like red, green, blue. They're knocking it out. Little orange there on the door and the window. Little spider friends. Yeah, this is fun. It feels like dewy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything feels very wet.
Any tips? Any little tweaks?
So the artists asked for feedback. They asked to have critiques as well as
like in general, like because here's what happened. We did a stream with Ian and Peter and Ren, and we basically like it was just the whole time it was critique, and we didn't realize that it just sounded like we were just crapping on all these renders. And it was like no, that's not because like obviously it's the top 100.
Yeah,
you guys like these are so good. So we stopped doing that, and then eventually people said like, oh, a little bit of critique would be nice.
Okay.
So, yeah, kind of like going back, just a little capper.
I like it. Then this is just like an art school. It will hit a little bit of like the stuff that stood out and the stuff that maybe could make it better, but not saying it's bad.
Yeah, this is all great.
Here's what I would like to see more of. I'd like a little bit more story. You know, I just like a little bit more development, something. I know it's like a 6-second long clip, so it's a good thing, right? It's like I like this. I want more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's my critique.
Like, and that's a tough criticism to like dish out because you're like, well, what is the point of this? You know, everyone's making art in their own way, but I think it's even if it's like not even like a narrative, so to speak, it's just kind of like what changes about this from the beginning to the end of the shot, so to speak. Like how have things shifted by the time this shot comes to a close?
Yeah.
And I feel like that that is so far of everything that I've seen, that is definitely one of the biggest like ways to amplify your render.
Truth,
Is
yeah,
to like set up an expectation of what you think things are going to do or what's going to happen, and then either pay it off or do a twist.
Yep.
And it doesn't need to be anything complex at all. But
Agreed. Yeah.
it's just like, how do your first and last frames make you feel differently?
Yeah. Very good note. Very good note. Congratulations, Ben. Really good stuff. We're gonna move on. We're gonna hit
Sick
up
render.
Stuart. Congrats,
Oh,
Stuart.
this is amazing. This is so well done.
From Australia.
The animation.
I know.
That is some butter
incredible.
smooth animation.
I know. And the render quality, it's so crispy and like.
Oh man, this was like really good.
I know, the bag feels so real and like.
I didn't know you could animate an inflatable costume so well that it looked completely like photoreal in how it moved. Like it does, you know exactly what that is
Yeah.
from how it moves. That could be a
See the
grayscale
guy's
render.
head underneath it. See it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up from the top, I can hear that. Like.
Yeah.
You hear the nylon. Yeah.
And he gets. Oh man. I was like, for a second, is he gonna get clocked on the barbed wire up top there? That would suck. Yeah, nice little drift in too. Good lighting. Really nice lighting. Like the moon, they got that moonlight,
Yeah.
Jurassic Park lighting is looking great.
Spotlight catching them when they come out the door.
It's such a silly idea, done so seriously. I love that.
Yeah. It's really good. Good speed too. Nice rhythm shift between the running, like the T-Rex costume is running really fast, like,
Uh huh. Yep.
and then like I can't remember the character's name, but she's running a lot more.
Yeah, she's booking it. A lot of people this challenge did we call it two worlds. One render starts and then they like go through a portal or something, and then there's a whole new thing. And we're always like, you're making this so hard on yourself. You're making two renders in one. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And in a sense, this is two locations, not two worlds, but
Same thing in a way.
they did a really good job fleshing out both. One doesn't feel like it's lacking.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The whole thing,
Just the
even
attention to
detail.
detail. Having the characters resemble like the original characters in the first Jurassic Park is really nice too.
Yeah.
Whoa. There we go, Soto. Any critiques? Any little last minute quick critiques before we move on?
I mean, like for
Great.
what he's setting up to do, he nailed it.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, I guess the only things is I feel like there'd be barbed wire across the top of that fence instinctually. So I was like, ugh, when the dinosaur jumps, I expect
Yeah.
it to catch its head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But not a big deal. And the only thing that could maybe make this cool, I don't know, is like when the Jeep drives in, if it's actually a little more towards her, so the headlights sweep across the plants and her as it pulls that drift
Oh, nice.
to get a nice lighting wipe. That could be
Yeah.
cool. That's it. I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, that's just a thought. It's super sick.
Yeah, this is great. Fantastic. Good stuff, Stuart. Congratulations. All right, I got a mouse.
I love my.
Smash it. Don't have a mouse anymore.
Let's do this. Who's up next? We got
What's up next?
Lawson. Lawson.
Boom, boom. Whoa.
Ah, there's that world shift.
Yo,
There's the two worlds. Yeah. This is a good two worlds. The impact of the bullets there are like, man, they're great. The way he like kind of like covers his ears with his shoulders because you're kind of scared to shoot the gun
yeah.
is really good in that jacket.
Yeah, the
God.
character animation's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things going on here.
The clothing is really like the double layered clothing.
Are we
looks
allowed to
great.
pause the render? Yo, I want to see what's going on in the in between area there.
Yeah.
You know, can I just?
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
please.
the lighting looks
I just
really
wanna
nice.
See what's here. What is that?
Whoa, it's like cyber world.
I guess so. It's like I'm just trying to see. I was just trying to see what this thing was that he's inside of. Okay, that's it. I don't know what that is. It looks cool though.
Yeah, it's like a city. It's like a walled city, I guess.
Or maybe it's like a holodeck.
Like a hologram.
Could be a set.
Wait, what does it say? COB something?
Yeah.
What does it say? Is he
Life.
live?
What does it say? Life secrets. Lee's secretary. I don't know. CQB.
Live subjects.
Live subjects. Oh, he's escaping.
I see. So he's in like a test. Yeah, he's like in like a test room. Close quarter. Wait, CQB. I don't know what CQB would stand for.
Close quarters battle.
Yeah, CQB, you know.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. Then there's like a there's a tower up there with dudes shooting at him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So this is really cool. It's got some really cool depth to it. The lighting's amazing. The character animation's amazing. The physics on the cloth is amazing. Something that could make this a little bit better is some bullet hits.
oh.
So that I,
Like
that I
something in?
yeah. Doesn't need to be tracers even, just bullet hits, and I can connect the dots later.
Yep.
Then I'll know that okay, that guy is shooting because the muzzle flash is white against white in the distance there.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like a glare of the sun
Mhm.
flickering. And yeah, you're totally right. Some backlit smoke puffs. That would do it.
But that building, the set, the glass, I
It
mean,
looks great.
super cool.
Yep.
My only criticism, everything looks sweet. Animation is sweet. Overall, it's super sweet. And I love how in these challenges, there's all those fun details to pick out of the shots. This one in particular, I feel like those little details might be worth kind of maybe putting them in our face a little bit more so we can like totally soak up the context of the scene on like the first viewing instead of, you know, this repetitive, instead of on the fourth or fifth repeat.
Yeah.
Right.
Get the
Because
story on the
it all looks so cool and like it's a cool idea. I'm just like, yeah, it's just
I see what you mean. Yeah, you want clarity up front.
that clarity up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
Sweet.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, beautiful render.
Lawson. Next up, all the way from Australia. You guys know him as Mr. Edge. Baboom. Nice. Very like.
I love volumetrics.
I know.
You can't go wrong with volumetrics.
I know.
That's nice. Those smoke simulations are very photoreal.
Yep. Yep.
Wonder what they're carrying.
The tear gas, you think?
Something important. Yeah, it's definitely some bad gas.
Just really steamy. They're fighting in a volcano,
Well,
actually.
the gas masks mean it's bad gas.
It's bad gas. I think Edge, you could have looped it. You could have looped.
Oh, yeah. Could have looped it. That'd been cool.
But I love the simplicity of it. I think it's great.
I love the soft volumetrics. They're rendered really nicely, especially right there. The color choices where it's like really muted except for the yellow helmets, really nice. I think it could have been cool to try to play the trick of the tracers and slash lasers in the clouds just a little bit more. Whether it's like you make it a little bit darker so you get a little bit more of that, or like even like sectioning off the lights, you get that soft light above them kind of skylight, but maybe it drops off to darkness so you get more emphasis on the light of the actual like tracers going through the volumetrics there. Because since it's all physical, you can get some really cool effects. And like I'm getting a little bit of that.
Yeah, or like an explosion, like in the
Ooh,
background where it just
It's
lights
all
up the whole thing.
diffused. Yeah, you don't actually see the fire necessarily, you just see all the light diffusing
Yeah,
and rolling
yeah.
up. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, I mean, and this is it's overall super great, really incredible rendering, good animation, all that stuff. But also a hard criticism. It's like when you start comparing this to the other renders, like it's a tough spot to be in because when you watch it by itself, it's cool.
Yep.
But when you, I mean, granted, there's people out there making the craziest stuff. It's like, how do you do like maybe a little bit more with this other than just having them like run? Like the tracers, you're right. There's maybe some context like ricochets or maybe some more like close calls or like what, you know. But
Yep.
for me, honestly, it kind of just comes back to the whole like first frame, last frame. Like what's the shift? What's the change in our like micro narrative here?
Yeah, you prefer something that evolves as opposed to a moment or a vibe or a stasis.
I mean, I would say generally yes. You know, I mean, even if it's like hopping over a body. Sorry, the context of this one's, you know.
Like learning something, maybe the audience learns something
Yeah,
from
little
beginning to
Spielberg
end.
1, 2,
Yeah.
you know? I'm a fan of that for sure, but no, it's great. It's just a run. All the others do a jump or a move. It's very
Yeah. I do like that it's just raw.
active, you know?
It
But
is.
I like
But you know what, guys? This is the top 100. You know, like
Yo,
this is the
hey,
cream of
thank
the
you
crop. This is
for
only
that,
the best of the
raid,
best. So
Tsunami.
these
Hope you're
critiques
doing
that
well
we're
today.
Talking here, you know, it's like, you know,
Thanks
we're
for
not
pulling
gonna
up
be like,
last night,
"Ooh,
too."
You know, the rendering or that reflection's a little noisy, or you know, like everything's gonna be good. These are all gonna be great renders that are incredible. So to critique them, we're gonna really need to get into the weeds.
All right, good stuff, Edge. We're moving on to Jan from Belarus. Belarus. That sounds better.
Belarus.
Belarus. I'm like, I haven't heard of that one.
Nice, cool. Love the detailed background. Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, cool. They did a good job building out the details of this like sci-fi industrial zone.
Yeah, I like the lightning. Lighting up the world a little bit, the birds.
That's actually
Or a window.
not water on the lens. that's
Appreciate you,
artist's
brother.
Tears. That's that meme specifically.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I like the gas cylinder that like gets popped up and goes book
Yeah, that's great.
right there in front of us.
Super fun. Like the lighting. Good lighting. Little background AO1 back there. It's cool. You know, putting them spotlights in there. They got the whole like blue-orange color contrast thing going. Yeah, this is great. They got the animated fog through the headlights.
Yeah,
that
actually,
car
just
thing.
noticing that they're doing that like
Mm.
rain
Yeah,
effect
that's
a little
nice.
bit, which
That's
is
good.
that's a tough one to like nail. That's like
It is.
anyone can slap the rain filter on there, you know, action VFX on there, but to get that nice like sheeting effect, that's nice. That's classy.
This looks not. I don't mean this in a bad way. This looks a little bit like an Unreal Engine render to me.
Okay.
It might not be, but I've heard that people are submitting renders not just in Blender now, but you know, with Unreal and a whole
Lots of
bunch of
Unreal.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the second most used program, obviously, versus Blender is the most used. Unreal is the second most.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
My biggest critique of this would honestly be the rain on the camera lens.
Yeah.
It's falling straight down or moving. There should be like there's sheets of rain, so I feel like there's wind, there's storm,
Yeah, at least
moving.
some
Yeah,
diagonal.
Just go straight down. And
Oh yeah, because also it's right where the birds are too. You see that?
yeah.
It'd be blurred out too.
It'd be blurred out, and then also just it does beg the question: are we here? Actually, are we looking through a window at this, or like is the camera a physical thing moving through the scene? Because when you're putting
Appreciate you,
anything on
Tsunami.
the lens, you are calling attention to the physical
Thank you for both of the raids.
apparatus that's grabbing the image.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get after
Yeah,
it.
that would be my note. And anytime I see like smudges or smudges on the lens and it's like crystal clear, it's like it would never be. It would be blurred out.
Mm-hmm.
At least be blurred out. And yeah, if it's rain, it's moving that way. Yeah. That's really it. This is great. I love it. Any last thoughts, Sam, before we move on?
Nope.
Sweet. Good stuff, Jan. We got Pedro next from Brazil.
Pedro.
Oh, this one's
Oh,
amazing.
Dude, this one's so
Ah. Ooh, that it's that. Oh,
good. And it loops.
that's a flawless loop.
It's flawless.
Dude,
You know,
just,
for me, it's all about the blue trail right here. That blue trail.
uh,
That is like, it's so nice.
and just like that comforting, like under the bed, like you can feel it. Like
And then,
the ripple.
It's the landing on the sheets and seeing the air underneath. the
Yeah.
sheet ripple.
Timing the ripple of the sheets moving out to his roll, like it's just this whole thing feels so like conceptually whole from an artist's mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The paper physics there. I don't want to like underplay that, you know, because like that, just like the gentle
Yeah.
flutter of that paper is really good.
Agreed. Yeah, they're nailing it. The volumetrics, like the colors.
The sunlight moving through the skylights during the workday when he's in the office.
Oh man, you see the
Passage of
clock
time.
spinning and-
Time lapse.
Oh,
Yep.
Man, I don't have any critiques on this one. Sorry. This one's perfect. It's truly perfect.
dude, and like very subtle like subsurface scattering shader on the bathrobe too. You can see the light shining through it a little bit.
Yeah,
So nice.
man.
Very nice.
Really nailed it, Pedro. Seriously.
And this is a 3-banger too. This isn't just a 2 location. This is a 3
It
location.
is a 3.
So a 3 world? Are we getting a
It's a
3
triple
world?
loop.
We're getting a looped 3 world transition. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty high tier. It's crazy. Yeah, really good stuff, Pedro. No notes, man. Great work. Congratulations to you. Congrats on top 100, man.
If they gave out S's in school, you know, you get A
S.
minus, A plus, then S. Yeah, this would be
This
an
S.
S. Yeah.
All right, y'all. You know him. He's from Brazil. You guys know.
Are
him.
you hyping this up?
It's-
the one,
It's
the only.
freaking Fabricio.
Fabricio.
Yeah, it's Fabricio. Of course he made top 100. Look at this.
I love this one.
This is so cool.
God dang. God dang.
I love watching the giant statues in the background come to life
It's so scary.
and scramble towards them. Like the face isn't animated, but the way the creature's animated makes the face feel alive. The way it looks at him and scrambles.
This one makes me, like, it freaks me out.
The framing is just so perfectly well done too. Like the back left guy who just like runs the whole time, like reaching out.
He's like, oh,
He stays just in frame so you can track it. So well done.
geez. All Unreal Engine, too.
This is Unreal Engine?
Yes.
So this
No way.
Full disclosure, this was recommended to me yesterday on just Natty on YouTube. I've never seen any of Fabricio's work before. Somehow YouTube knew that I had to watch this last time, so I watched this breakdown. Insane. It's I didn't know you could do this in Unreal. I've been sitting here diddling around in Unreal for years, and I'm like, oh, it's good, but you know.
It's ridiculous.
But to put a shot like this together in Unreal requires so many other programs and systems to like get it to work properly.
Yeah.
There's it all lands in Unreal, but you know a lot of the work is done outside of it still.
Yeah, you compile in Unreal. You kind of finish your stuff in Unreal. But I think here, like, you know, we got probably a lot of assets.
Oh, we got assets for.
Yeah, for sure. I know I think he's using Rococo for the statues. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
Freaking crazy.
I mean the light beams, the trees, the different levels of volumetrics, the
Fracturing
smokes
hand.
kicked up, the fracturing hand, the perfect animation.
He's getting like all these. He's like got to be importing like VDBs into Unreal to like get all this on it. Like
Yeah.
Like the animation on the door and the counterweight, the entire Forbidden City in the distance,
not
the
even
waterfalls.
that it looks good, but to think about how he had to get all this stuff working in Unreal
Yeah.
is also like it's the ultimate brain puzzle.
The way
Oh
the
no, they're
physics
doing
of the
reviews
system
over
around
a 3D challenge that went out,
I love the weighted door. It's a giant.
where everybody has to get the same like animation,
armor plates
and then
that
they
work
create a
with
whole new
very
world and
well.
like
Super
interaction
cool
with it and
armor
stuff.
rigging that actually
It's pretty cool.
Doesn't clip.
It's been going on for a while.
and like
Yeah.
goes
It's called,
independently. It's not just also like attached. Like it jiggles.
What is it
separate from the
called?
Body underneath.
This is crazy. That's
Yeah.
just crazy. That's crazy.
All right, no notes. Another S class.
Yeah. The light. Good stuff, Fabricio.
It's flawless. It's amazing.
Fabricio, congratulations.
Let's get into some work.
We're rolling through Brazil. We got Ronaldo.
Little
This one's
Princess
beautiful.
Mononoke action.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Great lighting, really vibrant. Love the green, blue. It's semi-cartoony. We got these arrows flying in, these fire arrows coming in.
Yeah. Like the smoke trails.
Yeah.
Really helps you track it.
Yeah, I mean, I like Princess Mononoke quite a bit.
It's a good one.
One of my favorite films. So I'm certainly biased to enjoying this. But I'm trying to think here. I kind of need to do one thing for you guys. I do want to
Yeah.
pause it right here.
Yeah.
Because this one thing, and granted, top 100, so it's got to be nitpicks, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm seeing a lot of motion blur on the ground here. And we have these like big, beautiful, like majestic wolf guys running. And
Less
the
motion.
mismatch of the motion blur. Oh, I'm my bad. Spoilers.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
The motion blur is kind of like confusing me a little bit.
It does make it feel like the dogs are moving slow.
It makes them feel slow, but it also gives like a stop motion effect. And so then you try and view the shot through like the stop motion aesthetic, but it doesn't work that way necessarily. So it's kind of it's kind of bridging two worlds. Like, is this like a super sweet CGI animation, or is this a little bit more in like the more bespoke claymation kind of stop motion territory? Like,
It does feel like a mix of both a little bit. Yeah.
and I feel like for me, I would just like push it in one of these directions. And for all I know, this could just be like an unintended side effect
Yeah.
for it.
It's a beautiful render.
It's gorgeous.
And like,
Yeah.
I love the lighting. I love the little bit of story that's happening.
Yep.
All the creatures, like all the custom character work here. Like animating creatures is not easy either.
God, no.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But I would agree. I think motion blur, it's like it's a thing that like is super important to conveying that kinetic feel, and it's it does stand out when it's not quite perfect. But once again, like Sam said, this is top 100. These are nitpicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff, Rolando. Congratulations on top 100. The montage comes out next Saturday, so you guys will see this with Point Lobo's music. It's incredible. I teared up twice listening to it. Just the music alone, it's great. So next Saturday, all this stuff with the soundtrack. Don't miss it. Let us go to the next render.
Yeah, what's up, Nugs?
Bunnet's song from. Alright, you've had your time. Limelight. Bunnet's song from Cambodia. What a.
It's very Dark Soulsy color scheme looking.
Yeah.
So this one popped up in my algorithm. Yeah.
It's good. Honestly, just getting into my little groove. Like I'm at the very front of it. I'm about to dive into it, and I really want to bring this animation to life today. I don't want to spend another day. I want to just knock this out.
Animation here.
Grandpa over here thinks it's Dark Souls.
But I love
Nah, Jim's been chilling. It's the weekend, so
bodies like
he's doesn't spend too much time at the office.
hair backlit like outside of the cloak. It's really nice. But the fabric itself just feels super high detailed, high resolution, fidelity simulation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I love the animation. The custom animation. So we gave them 6 animated, pre-animated shots by a guy named Arthur. And freaking killed it.
Yeah.
But we also allowed them to custom animate stuff themselves in between the run cycle if they wanted to. And they're doing a little bit of that here, and they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah.
Animation is the hardest part for me.
And I mean animations, yeah, by far the hardest part.
I gotta go harder. Honestly, watching these animations make me want to go so much harder.
But then the animation
Because I know how to do it. I can actually create this kind of stuff.
Make the jankiest render.
I gotta get through the projects I'm working on so I can work on the new things.
any notes on this one?
But I gotta get faster and get through projects so I can get more done.
Of life in the
I'm hoping next year is a good year for me for just exploding and just
Just a little more atmosphere back there. Don't cover it up. Everybody likes to cover up this stuff with funk. Don't cover it up. But
there's a few of us on Twitch
beautiful. I end up looking at it the whole time.
where we are like co-workers, Nuggy,
Just a little more clarity.
Juice, Mook.
You know, when it's maybe a little more light. It's like
Just because we do a lot of work on Twitch.
And I like the moody lighting, but I just feel like what the
Oh, I know Mook Games. I know Juice be
stars, something I can't quite tell what
hustling.
they are.
But
Quite see what's happening to the
So, we call each other
skeleton
co-workies.
guys or whatever they are.
Jim is a
I understand the shot, but I don't feel like it's allowing me to capture
what do you
all the
call it?
detail that's going into it.
I'd be curious what this would look like with that subtle, localized glow.
Uh,
That's
what's the
around
word I'm
character in
looking
all those
for?
games. There's almost like a dim light in front of you.
I already had a word to explain it, but I'm looking for a
And,
specific
you have
word.
to, illuminate the area.
Hypothetical?
Yeah.
Curious what that would look like.
Yes.
Sweet, good stuff on
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Awesome.
He's an imaginary. I'll just leave it simple. He's an imaginary coworker.
If it's easy to say, all the scores good. If you want to set yourself apart, they'll
Dig into black
and
and
the
white.
next red zone, you'll set yourself apart. They'll
The meta.
yeah, the meta.
Yeah,
I like this.
I love the black and white. I love the lens effect.
Yep.
But from the light, signs, the regular illuminated signs, the helicopter spotlight. Also really nice. So good.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a guide because it was very dark.
Yeah, very dark.
Yeah, same thing with this one. It's a little bit of like, where's the clarity?
Yeah, I can't catch it here. But at the beginning, I'm looking at
Did you get passed by car headlights?
or something. Yeah.
An intersection in the second half of the shot. Yeah, it does.
We're starting to catch it, but yeah, the guy in black is effectively not in the shot for the first quarter.
Yep.
I love the cars bounce in the suspension.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, a lot of great things about it though.
It reminds me of an old indie Japanese movie or something.
The environment, there's something about the environment here that just feels really, really tangible. It's like, it's the foliage from the restaurant and like being able to see into the windows of that building. It just feels like, I don't know, because I'm seeing like an upgraded, like almost like open world game.
Yeah.
But like, as they put like super attention into everything.
Yeah.
This is great. I love it.
Yeah.
It feels really fun. That lighting in the beginning. You can see the characters a little bit more clarity at that.
Yeah.
But good stuff. We got from Canada. We got Alexander.
Oh, this is cool.
I didn't go in this building in Venice, but I saw it.
I really like the lighting change here. Boom, lighting change. Out.
Yep. It's good.
I guess it is. I suppose. He's got that thigh meat walking about.
The thigh meat, I know. The lighting is really good. Like the way the main character is lit here is really nice. Like
Yeah, the whole time too. Like how?
it's good.
It's a beautiful render, beautiful lighting, really nice render quality, good like color contrast. Now I am colorblind, but is that purple and orange or is that blue and orange?
It's a little more blue and a little more tan.
Okay, yeah, that's
brownish.
ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah. What's
But I
that?
like it.
What's that black orb up on the balcony in the
Let's
top?
find out. It looks like
Because it kind of slides.
it's moving.
Well, it's in the distance. That's the thing. It's like you see that's like a glass atrium ceiling.
No, but see that black orb in there?
No, but
That's rolling.
That's not in it.
There's two of them. There's
It's
two
in
of them.
front of it.
Look, there's two of them back there. There's like another one, but it's so far back.
Oh wait,
No. Those are domes of buildings outside. That's a glass ceiling, and we're seeing domes.
No.
but watch it sliding.
building.
It's moving.
Yeah,
it's
if you
rolling.
hit play, you'll see it sliding.
It's rolling. It's like an Aztec
rolling.
calendar.
It's an Aztec calendar. It's not rolling. It's fixed in 3D space.
No, there's no one rolling behind it. You're
You
right.
have to look right here. You have to look right here. That's really cool.
Yeah, you're right. This
Are we
thing's
looking
rolling.
Are we looking at different parts?
Look.
Yeah, right there.
No, this thing. No, that black circle. Listen, Wes.
The black circle. Okay. That's not the important part of this.
All right, whatever.
Look, this render is rad. I love the setting and the characters. Jumping to the T-Rex. I would love to see a little less just like running away from a wall at the beginning. You know, a little more of like an environment that implies like is there a broken pedestal behind
Yeah.
the statue or something that a magician with a wand?
I don't. Yeah, honestly, everything looks great. Great animation. For me,
Broken pedestal.
yeah, a broken pedestal. Exactly. It's like
Broken pedestal.
play up the marble aspect of this. Like, okay,
Chunks falling off me.
yeah, some stuff breaking. You know, the friction of the joints. You know, just something to like make me believe that this character's truly made out of marble.
Cracks in the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that could be the AB narrative too of like the pedestal. You know, first shot, last shot.
Fun fact. They painted that whole painting by hand.
Yeah.
Took them about 20, 25 days. The rest of it was the render.
Wow.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding.
Kate's Fate? Is it part of a new expansion?
That's a harrowing fact.
If it is, I may not have seen it. I think I've seen most of Destiny's animations, but at the same time, I'm down to watch it again because I always learn something new. I feel, or at least it's good to be reminded
Oh,
We're all
of that kind of stuff.
oh yeah. This camera shake, the handheld camera shake.
Foliage. World building reveal.
Although that's not handheld camera, Bob. That's like.
I think it's the one where he gets smirked or whatever, but it's a really good scene. I should watch it
Yeah,
again.
it looks nice though.
I wonder what she's carrying.
It's a teddy, I think. Little teddy bear. Yeah, it's like render quality, great. Lighting, great. They're doing a great job of silhouetting the character against the background there.
Yeah, Jim and
nice
Nuggy
foggy
got beef
background.
at the office.
Sharp character.
Yeah, and it's doing something I really appreciate this shot because it's doing everything a little bit differently so far. Normally, the first frame is like the one that tells you everything.
Yeah.
And right now it's cool how the shot starts and you're like, okay, I get it. And then you see, oh, white. There's like a Capitol building, there's a guard there, and you catch that at the last third of the shot. And so it really helps you get that sensation of like, oh, I learned something different. Like this character isn't where I thought they were.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because we're not spilling the beans right away.
I love the use of like a lot of foreground too. Like the whole thing's dressed from character to camera.
Yep.
A lot of people just kind of leave it clear like a diorama. I like, feeling like I'm in an environment.
Yeah, it's hard to, when you're tackling a big scene like this, you have to go all the way. You have to add all the detail, else it's just gonna feel empty. And Pierre, you're doing a really good job of filling that out. I want to point out one thing. There's like a weird,
Right in motion blur edge.
yeah, it's like a bright
Yeah.
white light.
That's the
around-
only thing that's distracting me. It makes it feel like everything's got like a post filter on it.
Yeah, like it's like they added the trees later or something, and like set the edges to like add or something.
That's crazy. I didn't even.
Yeah, some sort of like either alpha blend or artifact of the motion blur.
Yeah, it could be added late. I don't know. Then
I
you
don't-
see the like lines.
It almost looks like as the program is rendering out the motion blur, it's sampling the stuff behind it differently for each pass and like adding it up
And it's
differently.
stacking it harder or something.
Yeah. Because it kills the motion blur of the background behind it. If you
Oh,
go
does
back,
it?
you can look at like the highlights of things. They lose their
Okay.
they lose their motion blur as they come close to the tree.
Interesting.
Which makes me wonder if this is actually another Unreal Engine render. This would be kind of one of those limitations of that kind of rendering system.
It could be.
Ooh.
Could be. Maybe next time we'll have them add. So you see how it's all named, right? They have like
Yeah.
the category, the country, the name. Maybe we'll have them get the program in there next time.
I feel like Unreal gives you a bit of the like high-end animated movie feel. Like you don't quite hit photoreal, you hit more like when you crank out really nice Unreal Engine renders, you get like the Illumination Studios like animation quality vibe,
I think that's fair.
which is still very pretty. Like it's just
Fabricio.
from an aesthetic point of view, I can kind of sense like when a render is like, oh, this is done with like Cycles or something like that,
Yeah.
like or Octane versus like, oh, this is done with Unreal. Kind of different, slightly different vibes.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Pierre. Congratulations on Top 100. We're gonna keep moving. We got Tristan from Canada.
Ah,
Battlefield
classic Battlefield colors.
2000X.
It's a crispy render.
Man, this is nailing the Battlefield colors better than Battlefield.
Yeah.
I love the almost green-yellow lights right there.
Yep.
It's such a nice color palette to add to the blue and orange.
I like how the muzzle flashes are very much in the world, not composited.
Yeah. This dude, what a sniper. What a pro. Shooting the guy as he's vaulting. Like, boom. What an afterthought. He just takes him out.
I could be an accident.
Yeah, he's like, oops, sorry. That was actually his own guy. Yeah.
That guy I think was getting shot by other dudes in the background.
Really?
Yeah. Could be wrong. This could be either one. You're right.
That was a team effort.
Yeah, I love the color palette. The lighting's really nice. Everything's very clear. Yeah, it's like it verges on being milky,
Yeah.
but that's only because it's such a hazy scene with all the atmospherics.
Yeah, it's like, what is it, MGS5 demo Ground Zeroes?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I love how everyone is just perfectly set up to be like double edge lit too.
Yeah,
Like that's very pleasing.
Yep.
it really is. And it doesn't feel unjustified. It matches, it fits in the world.
Yeah, the color palette and atmosphere in this is like impeccable. Like the layers of distant haze and buildings and lights and like, yeah, the atmosphere is impeccable. The color is impeccable. The thing that's bumping me about this is right here. Oh,
Yeah, I
Okay.
got you.
Whoop.
right there. The shininess of the ground, even though the fire has been obscured. And we're just getting a bright reflection of
Oh.
This
nothing.
block right here?
That's
Both sides, honestly, on
Oh,
the left
wow.
and the right.
What a
there's,
patch.
there's two very bright streaks of the ground that are brighter than anything else that's in the air that would be reflecting it. And it draws my eye to the ground as opposed to the scene above where all the beautiful action is.
Crazy.
So right there, those bright reflections of the fire that's currently obscured. But this,
Yeah.
once again, I have a feeling this might be an Unreal Engine
It could
render.
be, because Unreal.
That's an Unreal thing.
Yeah.
You know?
For
It's
sure.
not doing ray tracing all the time. You know, it's doing other methods of calculations. But who knows? You know?
What a render though.
Want to render?
Good stuff, Tristan.
My
Yep.
one critique.
Yeah.
You know, the point of action is coming at the most chaotic part of the shot. You know, he's no scoping this guy, but it's during the parkour moment.
So you're looking at the parkour, not the guy.
And so what exactly happened there ends up not being clear, basically.
It's true. It's 2 moves in one.
Yeah, it's 2 things happening at once, and they don't seem to be associated. They're not glued together, the 2 actions. So that's just my one critique.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I was this good, then I'd be very happy.
Congrats, Tristan, on top 100.
That's great.
Yep.
Up
Beautiful,
next.
beautiful render.
We got our boy Visual. What up, dude?
Heck is
From
this?
Canada.
Ooh, wow. Super cool.
Yeah.
Dude, this high density, like European style apartments.
Cyber favela almost.
Oh man, that soldier at the beginning just like basically asks to get shot in the face. Stop! Actually,
Love the like wiggle of the car as they vault over it.
yeah.
Great lighting there.
The birds like leaving shadows in the volumetrics is very nice. Shows that it's more than just like a cutout stock footage thing.
Yeah, the world feels very built out. Like
I love all the plants.
Same. I feel like the plants make it.
Yeah. Without the plants, it'd feel a little generic.
Yep.
But the plants like really make it feel like this is a vibe, like a sci-fi vibe that's
Yep.
crafted.
Makes it feel like South America somewhere.
Yep.
Those buildings and everything. Really cool. Any
Think-
critiques here?
Yeah, I think the gun action storytelling is a little cramped in the beginning, time-wise and space-wise and animation-wise.
I can see it.
Trying to pack a lot of things happening into that moment, and it's in the back end of the screen when our eyes
Yeah.
are trying to follow forwards.
Yeah, it's all in the most muted area of the frame where we have this brilliant, bright, sunny area coming up.
Yeah, there's a question where my eye should be. I'm on the main character. I want to go to the taxi, but then I need to pull back to the characters on the far side of the screen to see what
Yeah.
happens there, because something gets shot in the head. So that's more interesting than taxi, even though it's a hovering taxi. But once that guy gets shot, I'm like, got it. And then back to the hovering taxi, which is cool. The birds, it's all beautiful, the drone. And now I'm looking where I should be. for the
Yeah,
rest of the
it's a
scene.
little of an afterthought, like crunched in.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think there's also something that it might seem painfully obvious at this point, but you know, this template here is a character on the left-ish side of frame with a lot of negative space on the right. And so that right side of frame is ripe for your action and your focus there, because your character is literally running towards something. And so to kind of squish action into that negative space on the left, really difficult. Really
Yeah.
difficult. Definitely a challenge.
Yep. But a beautiful render.
Yeah, otherwise, the volumetrics are great.
The world building's really nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Character's really
Incredible.
Goes all the way.
I love how unique it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congrats, Visual. Good stuff. We got K-Min from Chile.
Ooh.
Super cool.
Yeah, this one is very unique. They did a great job of incorporating the custom animation that we gave all the artists freedom to do this time within the run cycle. And it just feels like a very fun, like Tim Burton, spooky Beetlejuice.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Coraline or Leica
Yeah.
things.
Coraline.
But like, I love it when people can go like, oh, I can like reimagine this, and it's still within the rules. It's still the same framing, still the same action, but completely different from everything else.
Yep.
Yeah. This is really creative, really unique.
Really cool set. The way the pictures are dropping.
Yeah, the way the
off.
pictures are dropping is super satisfying.
Yep.
The way the floor crumbles, like it's like solid and the hands pop through, but then the whole floor kind of gets torn apart a little bit more as it goes around the edge. It's really
Yeah.
nice. And then there's also, I feel like there's an acknowledgement or reaction to this, like, because as you're making something, you got to step back and look at it as you're making it, and tweak and adjust, your plans accordingly.
Yep.
I feel like the artist, maybe this is planned from the beginning, but I feel like the artist looked at this and they're like, okay, I need to help us feel a little more established, like that we're on a treadmill, we're not actually going down the hallway, we're actually in one spot, and the hallway is
Yeah.
the thing that's moving. So they're adding the red string. And specifically, it's red, right? So
You know
it
what?
stands out, it draws our eye, it drags on the floor, and it shows us, like on top of the curtains, but the string itself really shows us, like, no, we're actually in one spot, and this is a treadmill. The character's trying to get out, they're trying to escape. And I don't know, it just feels conceptually very cohesive.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah.
Two real straightforward criticisms. One, this shot is like right on the verge of being loopable.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, come on, like, you're like
Right on the verge.
right there.
That'd be hard. I know it's hard to do that, but it would be cool. My other criticism is that red rope. Actually, I'll be honest, I never noticed that it was there.
Yeah.
And I feel like to like truly amplify this to like the next level, it's like get a little more light on that side of the room there and make that red rope that the character's trying to, it looks like now that I see it's there, I realize, oh, the character's trying to grab that to
Yep.
escape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like amplify that element, like have it maybe like, you know, swishing across the floor a little more, make it feel more like, oh, it's gonna be hard to grab it, you know, and bring a little more attention to that.
I think some like blue moonlight
'Cause-
to illuminate like
Yeah, that would help.
safety, right? Or maybe like
Yeah.
an angel wing, like there's some angelic glow from the right
Yeah, yeah,
side
yeah.
to illuminate
I know
the
what you're saying.
rope.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that would definitely take it, and
That
then
would-
loop it.
And,
Yeah.
and then maybe have the trip motivated by hand grabbing her ankle briefly. So for a second, you're like, ah, she's got caught, but then she breaks out and keeps
Right,
running.
right. But yeah, even still, really cool idea, super sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super creative. And
The, oh, last thing, the stock film grain over top, like that's
I didn't know. Oh, that's what that was.
is the stock one.
Yeah, I don't think you need that.
Yeah, for sure. Or just do film grain. It doesn't have to be the stock one. That's the only, that's the only thing. Other than that, I love this. Came in, you killed it.
yeah,
Really
beautiful.
unique. Congratulations on top 100. Up next, we got Nandi from China.
Dude, buff radish.
Bull.
Buff radish.
Bounce and bow.
Yeah, not fry that radish today.
I love the render style. It's clean and beautiful and cartoony and well lit and
Yeah, everything's beautiful. The kitchen feels inviting.
Yep.
Like the whole thing gives that feeling. Really nice.
Cozy render.
Sunlight. Cozy render, 100%.
It's got cozy render energy.
Yep.
I think my only critique would be very similar to the statue one, which is a little more understanding of motivation. Just a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Like,
Are
what's
they?
their goal?
Do they not want to get eaten and they're trying to escape? Or are they trying to get into a delicious dish? Like, what's the, just a little bit of like the why. And once again, it's a 6-second render, right? How much can you do? But like, it's a beautiful world.
Let's go far.
Great
Let's
character.
get into the world of this one. Buff radish. He should be using his arms.
Just running like
He's got
this.
just the skinniest legs. That should be his weakness. But when he uses his arms, maybe a little front flip, cartwheel. I know. Yeah, no.
Jumps up and then runs on his hands for a second.
Kush.
Yeah, or punch through something.
Now, like, not to be like you should have added like a whole town in the background and like a whole family just having dinner, but like a chef maybe being like, oh, trying to grab them.
Yeah.
To put that would kind of sell the story.
I would.
A big guy, little guy play.
Oh,
Big guy,
you
little
know,
guy?
Big guy, little guy is classic,
Yeah.
as we know.
We've seen two big guys, little guy so far.
We have two big guy, little guys.
We got two guys. Yeah.
Yep.
Mauricio, with two guys.
Yep.
Two big guys.
Two big guy and one little guy.
Yeah.
Nandi, congratulations. We love it. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Really
Gorgeous.
clean.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Great color choice. Pop that green on the radish.
This is my kitchen.
Pink red of the.
Truly.
Although
Yeah.
this is what a child sees when they play with the tiny play kitchen.
This is yeah.
This is that feeling.
This is a
Yeah.
folder's kitchen.
Yep.
This looks good.
Yeah.
All right. We got Chi up next.
Cheap. Ooh.
This one's so sick.
Me and the boys.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're all doing a prayer and then the big spear comes down. Oh, rad. That's cool.
Wow.
Oh, the doors are opening in the background.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
Are these giant? Wait, are there two big guys on the sides?
I think they're so big that
Yeah, they're so big you can't even see them.
you can't even tell they're so big.
You're right. I never noticed that. That's a new one.
And we have an implied third big guy off to the side.
Yeah.
Implied big guy, small guy render.
This
This is super cool. God,
Yeah.
You know what?
Very unique.
This is
Tell me, Nico. Tell me. Where,
the only thing that I think like I'm so taken by this world that it's outshining the character. Like the character's like a dude with a sword that glows, and the world's like this crazy thing with priests and like they have spears that match the other spear and giant beasts pulling open the sword. And it's like, if the main characters had a little bit more than just being a dude with a sword, I think it balanced it all out. Because there's so much lore everywhere else.
Yeah, how do you bring it home? Like
Yeah.
when there's lore
It's like
up the
such
wazoo,
good storytelling in this one.
you connect it. Because like if nothing is relatable, you can't grab onto anything, then it's just like full on
Yeah.
like deep fantasy.
I mean, this might be from a game or something. That might be the main character from a game for all I know. Like,
Yeah, it could be.
it's just that the main character to me just looks like a dude with, you know, pants and a shirt and a sword. And then
didn't know
like
it was-
everything else is amazing
Yeah,
in terms of like its development, its character development, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the sword that was glowing. I just thought it was like Sonic lines.
Oh.
Oh, I thought he had a magic cape.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Something
if the sword was glowing, it might be cool if he was like running
Yeah,
with it then.
Running with it, yeah, for sure.
But dodging that spear is so cool.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think
You
you
know.
Yeah, it'd be really hard to dodge a spear that big.
No,
Yeah.
I love this one. This one's super cool.
It's cool.
The
Good stuff.
just the cohesiveness of the whole world. The priests raising their things and boom, and then, yeah, I love it. It's such a cool way to cast a spell.
Good
going on?
color too.
I would love it if there was a movie and this is like a shot in the movie.
Yeah, agreed. That's like all of these, I wish.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, they're worshiping. Better get out of here.
Congrats, Chi, on top 100. We got Wanren Shu next up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is the cat one. Beautiful,
Cool.
beautiful.
With catapults in the background. The guys rushing in.
I'm a fan of big floofy cats.
This one's tough because you're doing a lot of really custom animation and like you have to maintain this sense of hyper speed momentum. Like, great job with the foreground, the camera speed, the camera path.
That's cool.
Like, yeah.
I like that sweet siege tower getting obliterated.
Yeah.
Oh wait, let me see the siege tower.
Yeah, it's right at the end on the right.
Boom. Oh yeah. Nice. Good reward for rewatching.
It's just nuts that they're like on top of an army. They're animating a cat
Yeah.
very well. Like, what the heck?
So my only critique would be to get a little more time between the transition or transformation to the cat and the attack. Because when I first watched this 2 times, I'm gonna try pausing it here. And what's your button for going back?
Button right.
So right here, the transformation happens. At first, I just instinctively think it's a wolf.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's like the generic thing. And because the cat's head is away from camera here, I can't read that it's a cat yet. And so if the transformation happened and the cat's head was actually facing camera, and I could read, oh, that's a cat, and then the pounce happens, I'll be able to contextualize all the action that's now happening here. Because I'm reading it as like, that's a weird way for a dog to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And then right about, not here, it's still a little hard to see. It's like right about, I guess it is there.
It was the.
Yeah,
It was this
it's like-
point. It was like this. This.
Yeah, right there. That's where you can kind of read that it's a cat because like, you can see the shorter snap. So that's my only thought. It's like, you know, at the beginning it was a little bit more face to camera, a little just like a few more frames before the pounce happens.
Agreed.
I'd be able to read it. Like obviously I can get it all in like the second and third reading, which is super cool.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Anything last thing to add to?
I love everything about it, but you know, the transition to the cat and back, I just am not
Not
feeling
for you?
it. Not feeling
for you
it.
today?
I'm not feeling that graceful flow of momentum. And,
Yeah, it just kind of feels like it stops a little bit on the tackle.
and yeah, I hate having to say it because I know how hard this shot would be to put in.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like so much about it, but it is one thing that is bugging me a little bit.
That's fair, man. That's fair. It's really hard to do everything perfectly, and one person to, you know.
Yep, totally. Yep. Super hard. Really cool stuff though.
Yeah, Wanren Shu, congratulations on top 100. Really good stuff.
I love that it was a cat. What a great decision.
Me
Yep.
too.
You know what?
It's usually a wolf.
I want to point something out. Most of our critiques here are like small technical things. Like, yeah, if you spend more time in the animation, it'd be a little more dialed in. And like the stuff that really matters, like the decisions, the characters, the setting, every single one of these has been amazing and
Yep.
beautiful. Like,
Yep.
yeah, the stuff that actually matters, the stuff that people really care about, yeah, everybody's acing it.
Like the design, this is all AAA. There's so much AAA stuff
Yeah.
going on here. It's nuts.
Agreed.
It's like somebody bringing in a race car, like, how can I get it to go 2 miles an hour faster? It's like, well, I guess you could do this one little thing and switch this to carbon. You know, it's like, but beyond that, you're taking a car going from like 200 to 202. So, yeah.
All right, next up, y'all. Next up, we got Yu Chen from China.
Is it like Dead Space?
It looks like what's that game? Crysis.
Crysis.
Crysis. It looks like a Crysis-looking character with. What did you say? What game did you say?
I said Dead Space.
It looks like a little Dead Space. Yep.
That's it. I just got that vibe. It's cool. I like me a good headbutt through a wall or body slam a wall kind of shot. It's fun seeing that destruction.
Yep.
It's a really unique looking environment actually compared to everything else we've seen too. Like this like grungy, dilapidated sci-fi spaceship thing. I don't know. It's nice.
Would you frame it for me?
Yep.
Interesting.
Motion blur.
No, it's like the piece doesn't have this one doesn't have motion blur. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, rendering without motion blur can give you some really good clarity of motion and stuff. Interesting. Like the way that explosion erupts, but it's obscured by debris the whole time was catching my eye.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in a bad way. It's just an interesting way to represent an explosion.
Yeah.
Everybody always goes to like full on glow, blows up the camera. And so to have a bunch of debris in front of it was interesting.
I love the destruction in this one, and with all the volumetric smoke and stuff, it feels so cool.
Yeah, it's a good texture to the whole world here. I guess my critique is a bit of confusion as to like why the transformation's happening in the beginning. Like,
Well, because he knows he's gonna have to bust through the wall.
Yeah.
He goes,
oh, he's putting like armor mode on.
armor mode so he can body.
I thought he was just like revealing his true self.
Yeah.
You know.
Hiding his true self.
So there's the challenge of trying to communicate a concept like that here. So maybe showing like a decision as opposed to just happening while the run is happening. Like look up. Oh, I recognize something. I may take an action, and then the consequences I can bust through the wall.
Yeah, and maybe more of a contrast between normal dude and armor dude. They
Yeah.
look very similar colors. You could have had the dude in like orange or all white, you know, so that when he goes into armor mode, you can really tell, you know, maybe some more skin. Maybe it's not a full loaded up jumpsuit in the beginning. Maybe
Yeah.
it's more of just like short sleeve, something.
Although you know, I do have a funny idea.
Yeah.
So like it gives me a funny idea, which is like, let's say you have a suit like that, or it's like the Iron Man suit. It's like, what happens if your pants get caught on fire? Totally activate the suit, and then suddenly your suit's just smoking because it like extinguishes it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Random idea.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Totally separate, but you know.
Cool render. I'd love to see like the world and the idea push a little bit further. Whether it's like timing the armor to like be right before you bust through something, or like separating the concept of like the collapse with busting through the wall to be a little bit two different reasons. You know, just it's a really cool setup, really cool character. Yeah. Just more world building, please. This is not a bad thing.
Wow.
I want more.
My critique is that I want more.
My critique is that I want more.
Delicious meal, but you serve me too little.
Exactly.
Good stuff, Yu-Chen. That is render 20, guys.
Okay.
We got 80 more to go.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this
We're gonna keep it
tighter.
moving. We
Let's
gotta
keep it tight.
Yeah, we gotta keep
All
it.
right.
All right. Sci-fi. This name is in full Chinese. I don't know their name, but they're from China, and they made a sick render.
This is
Beautiful.
incredible.
Yeah, this is great.
Beautiful.
Like they captured chaos so well, and it's so clear, and it's just like very terrifying and creepy. I would not want to be in this character's shoes ever.
The background is amazing. The light, the detail, the lightning, the atmospherics, the debris. Like the detail in the debris is awesome.
Yep.
The color choice is super cool.
Yeah. And it gets the award for not a single static object in the scene.
Yep.
Every
everything-
single thing is like flying around and fragmenting and like going up. That's pretty nuts. And I would almost say it's too dark, but then I'm like, well, I'm actually at the same time, you can follow the character perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Actually,
it's actually not a problem.
I don't think it's too dark. I think it's
Yeah.
a nice dark shot that works.
Yeah.
My only critique would be I'd love some motivation for why they come back down to the ground. Because
Yeah, if everything's floating up and getting ripped away, why not
Yeah. So maybe they push off something with their hands. You know,
Oh,
jump
that
up, boom, push on a rock, push them back to the ground so they can keep running.
That would be crazy. Yeah. or some like anti-grav something or
Yeah. Just a little bit of motivation.
boots something.
Boot.
Really good stuff with the lightning rippling through and lighting up all the clouds.
Yeah, lightning looks great.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
And it's like lightning travels too. It doesn't just appear. It's
Lightning's hard to do.
yeah.
Yep.
Like especially creative lightning that doesn't look like everybody else's lightning. And this is lightning that does not look like everybody else's lightning.
Yeah.
That's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Bespoke lightning.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That's sweet.
Really good stuff.
Love it.
No notes. Next up, we got DLMN from China.
Oh wow.
This
Ooh,
one's deep.
those
This one's got
details,
something to
wow.
say.
Wait, just Joker clapping?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Get away from those distractions.
Seriously. Everyone-
Delete your social media.
Oh man.
I hope you're
God.
not watching this live stream on your. Yeah, you might have to think twice about it after seeing this
Yeah, it's crazy. Everyone's locked up back there, man.
locked up,
Everyone's locked up.
and he's escaping.
I love it. But they're
Yeah.
like, nah.
Can't hold me back.
It's great. It's a good, nice little theme. That
Wait.
They,
Guys,
what's up?
is he turning to religion at the end? See the plus/cross-shaped light beam?
Oh, yep,
Yo,
he is. He is.
dude, if
flying.
that was on purpose, which I would assume
I'm pretty sure that's on purpose. It's not like you just hit render and you're like, huh,
so. Yeah.
shape of a cross. Curious.
It's not a plus sign. That was the other thing. Like, is it a plus sign or like I thought it was an opening door at first? It was just there the whole time. Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is great.
Yeah, super cool. Maybe some more guys on the right of frame too.
Yeah, to justify the jump a little bit more.
Yeah, or like it's
Team
just,
coming.
it's that whole like if you're doing a chase scene with this kind of framing, all your action is gonna be obscured.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's still super cool. Love it.
Yeah, it's like a Burly Brawl situation. Gonna have them coming in on the right, like closing in.
Yeah,
and
interceptions.
yeah, what's he gonna do? It justifies the jump a little bit more. That was a lot of the things here. Like when we're choosing the top 100, trying to pick renders, not pick renders, but one thing we're looking for is like, did you justify the move? And a lot of these obviously did here. And but yeah, there's just a note. It's a good note to think about. But congratulations, DLMN. We're gonna keep it moving. We got a lot of renders to look at. We got Koala OK from China with the ping pong boy.
Crazy.
One of my favorites. Is beautiful.
This one looks all hand animated.
I don't know how they did it. There might be a breakdown. I heard the transition was done in Blender. It wasn't like composited or anything.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the characters are like 3D animated, but
Yeah.
like almost like posed on a shot-by-shot basis, and then a bunch of like hand animated like stuff on top of it, like
It's so
the streaks.
bendy and warpy.
It's bendy. It's
Yeah.
It's so expressive. Do you swear in your stream? Sorry, I just need to make sure.
I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Everyone. If I see a really good render, it makes me want to say the F word.
There's
like-
kids at home.
It's
I
like
know,
the
no,
kid has
I-
like bendy feet.
I won't.
It's his
But,
bendy
you
feet.
watch
The be- yeah, no, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. It's like who takes the time to animate foot curve and put all those bones in it? Like this person does, and it pays off.
Koala.
It's so
OK.
good.
Agreed. The clouds perfectly composed,
Yeah.
shaped, and the colors perfect. And like the armless ping pong player with like playing with the paddle in his mouth is like.
I love the boomerang moment where he chucks
Yeah.
it and he hits it,
Comes
and he,
back.
and he catches it.
The speed lines.
The way that ping pong ball moves, it's just like the arrows in Princess Mononoke. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so nice.
yeah.
And it's very like turbulent too sometimes. That's crazy. Wow.
Oh man, look at that wind up.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Wind up to your heel.
crunch, like fold. But
Almost a career-ending wind-up, but became a career-making wind-up.
Career-ending wind up. But like, dang, this shot has so much going. It's this. It's like almost 3D. It's like almost 2D.
Yeah.
It's so expressive.
And the refraction on like the
Transitions,
chakras. The way the roof of the stadium comes in and bounces and stretches.
Yeah.
Everything is alive.
Look at the distance on this.
There's no foreground and background in this. The whole thing is just one giant animation.
Look at the ball turn. Look how hard the ball turns when it hits. It's
I
like,
know.
bang.
And the table is like sliding, but in a really cool way.
Whoa, whoa.
And then like it also loops on itself too with the ping pong ball animation.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh,
S-class.
good stuff, Koala. Congrats on top
That's
100.
insane.
We got a toys render, Toy Paul.
Ooh,
This one's fun. That subservice.
these are very nice. Right?
Ooh.
Sharp.
Interesting
World.
material choice.
Guitar. Is this the Guitar Hero?
Who the Guitar Hero?
All of those guitars and amps look very, very real.
Yes.
Yeah. Very shiny.
Yep. Nice depth of field, little mini scene. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure what this character is. They look like they're made out of smoke or dust.
Yeah, I mean, like it's so crazy. Like
Aerodrome?
everything about it's so perfect that like it just makes me get right to the tough question, which is,
What's it about?
well, I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just like, why is I play guitar, I love it. I don't get who this little guy is though, and I'm like, I don't understand that relationship of why this character was chosen to be in the animation. Because,
Yeah. Good. Good point. Good point.
It's just, and I have to get right to it because like, it's so flawlessly executed in every other way.
Yeah.
Agreed. The lighting is perfect. The atmosphere is great. The animation's really nice. The render quality, the composition, the lighting is very clear. We're not missing anything physically. What's going on? It just comes down to story on this one. It highlights it. Story. I don't know. What could it be? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really pretty though.
It's beautiful.
Really pretty.
It's beautiful.
Let's do the next one.
Let's do the next one.
Sweet.
Story, a little bit of story. That's it. But congrats on top 100. Toy Paul, good stuff.
Yeah, it looks too much like just the default like character model.
It does.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's I do. I get echoes of that of like, yeah.
Ooh. Wow.
All right, from China.
EV Link.
Yep. It's beautiful. It like
Wow.
Ooh, I like the camera work on it.
The way the dragon casts a shadow on the foreground right there, really
the
nice.
beginning. Or,
Right.
oh yeah, for sure.
The
God,
construction's nice. I like that like the fracturing now and sliding through all the physics junk and
there's a lot going on, and it's readable. There's a dragon. There's a princess pickup. There is a break through the wood.
those seed guys.
Yeah, the
pop up.
Koroks, like you picking up the sword, Korok pops in, notices it, exclamation point. It's like packed.
Yeah, beautiful cloud paintings in the background. too.
Beautiful with the swoosh, like really nice lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Great lighting. You know, very typical story. We've seen it a million times, but it's some story that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any notes, you guys, or feeling good about it?
You know,
It's a lot to look at.
it's a lot to look at.
Yep.
It's very pretty, but there's a lot going on.
I don't know what's going on with this one. It's,
I think that is the Chibi decision is I think an interesting one. I'll just mention this. I'll just say it really quickly. So you want a cartoony world, you want to kind of give that vibe, you know, as you're gonna enhance your cartoony proportions. But it always begs the question: is the head big and heavy now? You know, it's like, or it's like
the head.
like is the head as heavy and dense as the rest of the character's body? So do you have to animate it as if it has more weight? And if you don't, then it starts to kind of look weird. So that's the kind of thing you run into with this like cartoon character promotion or proportion, is that like Lynx has this giant head, and I feel like it'd be heavy as he's running around.
Be animated slightly differently.
Just slightly differently.
I never even thought about that. Interesting. Something to think about.
yeah,
Yeah.
Good stuff. Congrats.
insane, super nice.
Yeah,
Top
beautiful. Also the foliage, great.
It's so
There's a lot of great things about this one.
it's so good.
Yeah. It looks like the
Wonder-
mountain is like freshly chopped. It's
Oh,
got a
yeah.
hot peak.
The sword. It's got the sword through it.
Yeah.
It's split. We got Wanda next from Colombia.
Ooh, a little change of perspective. Background guy becomes foreground guy.
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, really?
This feels like an animation flex right here.
Yeah. Very well animated, very smooth, good energy.
I've heard that tentacles are the hardest thing to animate,
Bro.
and I'm seeing a lot of tentacles. And I'm seeing characters zipping and zapping and moving around, and just like somebody knows what they're doing here.
Yeah, no, I love the way it's doing. I love the way it's playing with the composition, though, where it's like
Yeah.
you see the enemy is going to be on the right side of frame, at the front of the shot. So we get that like depth, but also our focus goes to that negative space really well, which then the character kind of zips over there and they swap
Yeah.
sides.
Also, such an effortless loop that we haven't even commented on it yet.
Wait. Wait. This.
Oh,
Yeah, you're getting some Michel Gondry star guitar right here.
Oh,
That background, that looping background, so good.
how did I not notice that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
that's crazy.
Jeez.
Pretty good.
Wanda Morales
Yeah.
is very talented.
Really, really solid. No notes on this one. We'll do a little.
Yeah, that's an S class.
to close it out on this one.
You can't.
Congrats.
You sneak that loop under the radar so well that these guys forgot they're watching it, like the in and
Yeah.
out points go ping pong. Like
Yeah.
S class. You made it.
Incredible. Didn't get the bad guy though. But
Didn't
he
get the
doesn't
bad
have
guy.
to loop
Because he comes back.
because he comes back. Dang it. So good.
Sweet.
All right, Andre from Cyprus.
Rendering.
Yeah.
Oh, this does not feel like an Unreal Engine render. This feels like it's coming out of like an actual ray tracing engine. I could be wrong. Once again.
Yeah, but it would be super funny.
I know. I could be wrong.
Like, turns out.
I mean, you can just turn all the dials up on any
Well,
one of
you
these,
can
right?
path trace
You
out
can
of
path-
Unreal.
yeah.
You can,
Just
exactly.
set it to path tracer.
And like
Yeah.
path tracing is still not like a full physical render, but it's super close.
Yeah, but this looks great. Really nice lighting. I love that
Yeah.
overhead, kind of top-down lighting. Super moody. Big fan of that. I love the muted colors, orange, blue.
I love this render, like the rendering style, the texture,
Yeah.
the materials, the lighting, like it just feels like it's real. Like not like fully photoreal, but like it feels real for what it is. You know?
There's like no noise
Yeah.
in this. Super clean. I love the reflections. It's the hard surface reflections off the robot.
It's almost like someone did like stop motion with like the nicest toys that you've ever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got that real vibe.
Also like the city landscape, like the
Yeah.
mega Akira city kind of vibe is nice.
Yeah.
Yep, feels good. They got the fog coming up from underneath.
I almost wonder if the buildings are from Akira.
Wow. Probably referenced.
Yeah, reference for sure.
That's super cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it a bad thing if you would cut out one skyscraper from Akira and stick it in your background.
That's funny.
Maybe a little bit of like, is this an escape? Maybe some alarm lights on inside as an only note, you know?
Yeah, more storytelling would be nice in this one.
Yeah.
But it's so high detailed and so like built and lit and rendered. Like
Yep.
I can see why the story didn't get as fleshed out here.
But man, what a great environment. What a great like
That's so sweet.
simulation.
The running animation on the mech flows so nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Andre.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Do we need to take a
No,
look?
no, I'm just gonna turn off this edge light over here.
Yeah, go for it.
Because the reflection of the light is exactly where the character is in every single shot. So
Oh yeah, I see.
so on darker shots like this, it makes it so it's really hard to see what's going on.
All right, next
Nico,
up,
are you catching this one?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
who do we got next? Oh, we got Folio.
Sweet.
What up, Folio?
Look at that.
From the Czech Republic.
This is super cool.
Almost
This
like
is
the Simon
really,
Hog.
really unique world building here.
Yeah, well, it's like Stalinhag in the West.
Lots of like beautiful hand painted elements here.
Love those colors. It's very open and I feel like I can breathe. I wish I could breathe.
Really fascinating storytelling here. Like the kid's head has been turned into like a film strip. You get these ribbons coming out these creatures in the background, these soldiers with looks like film strips coming out of their head. Let's see, is it a film strip?
It looks like it. I know he said he was going for like a DNA strand, but it looks like a fiber film strip.
Yeah, it looks like a film strip to me.
Yeah, that's the vibes I get. But man, it's like, it's subtle. he's only added the necessary elements, and the story is definitely there, and the world building is there, and
This is the most unique world I've seen out of any of these vendors.
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this one.
The way the ribbons
Yeah.
flow in the back there is so nice.
So beautiful.
All right, are those Grim Reapers or are those squids with beanies?
They look like Grim Reapers. I think it's intentional, but I think they're walking to against the direction here. They're walking to the left.
So squids with beanies.
Squids with beanies.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is great. Really good stuff, Folio. Any notes that you guys want to mention, or are we feeling good?
I mean, I have nothing to say about. I have nothing bad to say about this or critical to say
yeah.
about this. Yeah.
It's
It's
great.
beautiful. Next.
Yeah.
Congrats, Folio.
That's
Top
Yeah.
100.
I love this one.
Yeah. We got Jonas from Denmark with
Oof.
the first black and
Wow.
white. I think our first.
No, second.
Second. Yeah, the second.
God, the detail everywhere. The detail on the character and their clothes. The detail on the background.
That's one smooth vault over that railing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. This guy.
Serious.
Remember Adrian? Remember when Adrian tried to dive over the table of guns?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Broke his
He
collarbone.
imagined this.
Yeah,
happening.
this is what he saw in his mind.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here. This is really good.
The lighting, they're like all these little spotlights for days into the background, hitting all the right spots.
Yes. That's so hard to do.
It would take forever.
And the fact that he's also running on an airship, it looks like at the beginning here, jumping off
really?
the platform. Yeah, because you can see the propellers and stuff. And the airship's at the top.
Oh, six.
Yep.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's like underneath a zeppelin.
Like, what do you think they're dropping? What do you think they're saying? What's on those papers?
They're just saying do something. They're saying vote for somebody or like
Nah, something.
don't vote for somebody.
Yeah, well, I get the vibe. Well, yeah, that actually, you know what? It's weird. The moment you have to explain what's happening in it, or like the scene, or like the setting, or the motivation, it's like it's actually kind of it's very ambiguous.
Feels very dramatic.
It does,
It
but that's
does.
the thing. It's even though I can't explain to you what's happening, or what this guy's running from or running towards. Yeah, I still get that feeling of drama.
Like the fact that he has like that poster case with him, you know,
Yeah.
like it really
He's probably
feels like
stealing plans. He's stealing plans.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they're all wanted posters.
It's all the wanted posters with his face on them.
We got that dictator back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you can't actually see what any of the papers say.
What?
You can't see what any of the papers say.
Makes you paint your own picture.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
This is really good. They nailed it. The render quality and the lighting is just freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Perfect.
Congrats.
sweet.
Perfect.
This top 100s.
Gorgeous.
Are we at Hawk? Hawk. 3D. Is this Hawk from the server who always helps us with a 3ds Max file? I don't know. It could be.
To your cyber revolutionary war.
Yeah. Cyber Tin Can
This
Man.
is more Cyber Napoleon specifically. I think those are those French hats.
It just looks like a tin can with the pop, or with the top like popped like a little bit.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is really nice.
Is this a red coat? Are we following the red coats as they turn into robots and fight
No, look, that's
American
Cyber
robots?
Napoleon. Look, he's
think it is red.
You see the guy that's standing on there, the saber.
Yeah, I saw him there.
Wait, what
got-
flag does he
He's
have?
got the Napoleon hat. See, look. Hey.
Oh, he's got a cape.
He's got a cape too. He's
I need to
Cyber-
know. I need to know more about this world. I need to know more about the factors leading to this war.
The Napoleon. Look at that church steeple back there.
It's probably because of the price of grain.
You're probably right. My only critique is that giant mech in the background holding that giant gun isn't shooting it.
Wait, is he though? Hold on.
No, they're yeah.
No, yeah.
Big issue. Yeah, the mechs aren't shooting enough.
We need a railgun. We need like a
Sorry.
hitting that ship. That ship gets hit, or no, it fires a shot. This is great. It's beautiful. Those layers of fog, man, is real nice. We got foreground action, mid-ground action, mid-background action, background action, deep background action. This thing is packed.
Yeah, love the world building. Love the opportunity to create a cool scene from a cool moment in a world that makes you want to watch another movie that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Good stuff, Mr. Hawk. 3D, congrats on top 100. All right, guys, from France.
Oh wow.
Who do we got? Pitchy.
I like the like Mobius kind of like everything's bulbous.
Yeah.
That design.
Yeah.
There's like I forget the other like the Japanese. It's like this model set of these like Germans on the moon or something. I forget what that's named, but
It has the toy feel to it.
I love that unique design.
It's like soft plastic.
Yeah, I love the art design. My only critique is this jump right here. I think it's because I need to track what's happening with that ball, and the fact that this part of the trajectory gets broken throws me off on where it came from. It makes me think it came from the left rather than the right.
Yeah, it's like a little snappy.
Yep.
Needs a couple extra frames in there.
Well, I think yeah. The big thing is that we're not seeing the character like wind up to really strike it. Like it's almost ramped. I agree though. That is my critique right now. It's just that point of impact is not as clear as it could be.
It took me a while to see that it came from the tank on the right.
Back there, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I think that would be my only note is it just comes out of nowhere. But otherwise,
Yeah, I
Just-
love
yeah,
the
sorry, when you break it down, it is kind of going at like dodgeball speed. Like that's a tank. It's like
yeah.
versus like 10 times as fast. It's super cool. I love the style, the great design, cool lighting, cool rendering.
Yeah, good volumetrics. It's good
Yeah,
rendering.
just that point of impact, just little unclear.
Yeah, connecting those I think would be the only note.
Yeah, I like the tanks though.
Yeah, they're so cool. They
These look like they're custom modeled, and I'm just glad that they got to exist in something. 'Cause
Yeah.
They're really neat looking.
yeah, really unique. This would be a crazy. It feels like Killzone, like the early Killzone games.
Yeah.
Actually, it does feel very,
Yeah.
very similar. Good stuff, Pitchy. Congrats on top 100.
That's sweet.
We got Poison Rue
Poison Rue.
next up.
Ooh, a witchy one.
Might be easier to see here.
Interesting.
This one's Elemental.
Elemental.
Yeah.
Great camera work though.
Yeah.
Like the really good composition, really great job getting the character to kind of like get into the frame a little more, like I get keeping the character on the left, that's the template, but for a lot of these shots, it's nice when they, get framed up a little bit better so you can follow things.
I love the butterflies keeping up with like the character. I love the use of the pointy hat, having the fact that like they're carrying like two flaming things or like a flaming bar or whatever, so you can like track where
Yep.
they are.
Yep.
The transition here to everything like opening up like is super cool.
Yeah, the emissive lights being painted on,
Yep.
and like the color contrast, the beginning versus like the change in the color toward the second half of the render, the cloth going. It's a very active render, lots going on. It's
Yeah.
chaotic.
My only true critiques are I need a lot more orange light in the fire zone. There's so much fire there. I feel like it needs to be a lot brighter,
Sure.
especially like on the foliage and the trees in the background. And then just more clarity on the character. Like it just feels
Yeah.
really dark the whole time where the character is.
Yeah.
But
Especially in this moment, in
the silhouette's
slide there,
yeah.
it's like I can't tell if they're like sliding on their,
Yeah.
butt or their legs.
Yeah, same.
You lose the orientation of the character a few times.
the character's silhouette is so distinct
It
that
starts super strong.
Yeah,
and super strong.
you can follow, and they have the wands. You're able to still follow the character through the whole thing.
Yeah, you can see him here, silhouette here. It's like you're catching just enough of it, and then you see it at the end. Like
Yeah.
right in here, it's the hat. If it wasn't for the hat, I think the hat. We're latching on.
Yeah, the hat was smart. The hat was really smart. That was a genius move on the hat.
Yep. So yeah, just maybe a little bit more clarity on that character, and yeah, maybe a bit more orange glow on the left side as you come around. But congratulations on top 100. Good
Yep.
stuff.
That's awesome.
We got Jan from France next.
Ooh.
Boom. Cool. Giant disembodied
Ooh,
arms.
wow.
Wow.
That area.
Yeah.
Little world shift. Sick.
It's so funny. Once he gets into that gooey room, I'm like, don't cut.
I know. I just want this to be twice as long. Man,
Dude, all that lighting. This one's crispy.
love it.
Yeah. I love that, like,
Oh, so those are just big versions of the creature that's in the room. Because there's one in the distance too. It looks like.
yeah, there's a giant guy back there.
What we got to come up with a term for this because when we were talking about twisters on React, we talk about seeing these brilliant tornado shots, and you feel so let down when it cuts. Can we call it like King's Feast syndrome, where you're like, enjoying something so much that when you're done with it, that you want more, and that's a bad
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Because this
That's
is like
This is the king's feast.
I don't know.
I don't want it to cut. I want to keep eating.
Like yes, the meal is supposedly done, but I am unhappy because I want to keep eating.
Oh
Because
man.
that's this the shot. Like the moment he gets into this room, I'm like, it's so cool in there.
Yeah.
Like what in the heck?
Awesome.
So
man.
yeah, that's my criticism.
Love it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Congrats, Jan. Top 100, baby. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. We're going from the gooey depths to the bright outdoors. Ah.
A breath of fresh air. Interesting, like lower frame rate.
Vigneron Marcus from France. Sorry if I butchered your name. But yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Good style,
Cool style.
good color, fun energy, good energy.
What shoots the green blob? Does she kick something at it? Oh, she picks something up off the ground? and throws
She
it at it?
like, okay, so the green blob has the hay bale that it drops.
And she like smacks it in the head with a rock.
She dodged. Really?
Yeah. Pa.
Oh,
See,
wait. Oh, yeah. What the heck? That's quick.
Someone gets sniped in the shot.
She kicks it in the head,
Interesting.
cues it up.
Oh.
Ping. That's, yeah, I didn't catch that.
It's hard to catch that.
This is super beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Super
The
cool.
world's super beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
The animation's super beautiful.
Super good.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going for like a reduced frame rate vibe, which kind of lends itself to hand animation. I wonder if, when that rockets happens, they should have gone to animating on ones. So to
Full
speak.
frame,
Full
or,
frame rate.
full frame rate.
Just for like 3 frames. Wha-pa, so you get that smooth hit, and then back to the stutter. I wonder if that may have clarified it for you guys.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I would love some eyes on our blob person.
But it's a blob.
Yeah, but it's like, it's like barely a person. It's like barely a character. You know what I mean? And it's like, if I imagine it really hard, it is. Like I can see an arm, I can see an eye. And it's like there, but a little bit more, I don't know.
No, I totally agree with both of those notes. In fact, that, like, honestly, those are two things, the blob and the rock kick. I have to admit, I honestly didn't notice those things at all.
That video is like 4 hours long, so I'm gonna come back around to that. I'm going to lock in, play some music, and just like get some things moving.
It may look like this baby is
The area is home to species not commonly found in the surrounding region. Within the Enclave, the tranquil months are a critical time for the life cycle of one particular Pokemon, Magikarp. A large number of them are gathering for the toughest challenge of their lives. Returning from their ocean migration, Magikarp prepare themselves to move upstream to evolve and lay their eggs. Because their eggs are so vulnerable, they can only survive in the shallow, still waters high up in the mountains. Raised water levels present the best chance to reach their spawning grounds. But this is going to be the end of the road for a lot of Magikarp. Ursaring from across the regions gather here for this moment, lying in wait for the Magikarp to make their move. The longer the fish take on their journey, the weaker they become. While the falls may be modest in height, the predators hold the high ground. Despite their reputation as the world's most pathetic Pokemon, Magikarp possess an incredible ability to leap up to 7 feet in the air. Although useless in conventional battles, it's the perfect skill for their journey. The fish perform short leaps into the air to see where the bears are. But they don't always get it right. Despite consisting mostly of scales and bones, Magikarp are a favorite snack amongst Ursaring. But bears aren't the only danger to look out for. Once airborne, Magikarp make easy prey for any birds that happen to pass by. With death lurking just above the surface, the fish hesitate at the foot of the falls. Eventually, they have to take the leap, regardless of the danger. But numbers are on their side. For every Magikarp caught, a handful of them make it past the bears. Only a lucky few will survive to evolve and spawn the next generation of Magikarp.
Wailord. With a body length of over 14 meters, it is the largest creature native to our planet. Its heart is the size of a Snorlax, and some of its blood vessels are so wide that a wartortle could swim down them. Wailord travel in pods, migrating across great expanses of open ocean, from their breeding grounds off the northern coast of Sinnoh to the Alolan Sea where they feed. Despite their popularity amongst sightseers, Wailord have not always enjoyed the people's admiration. In the last century, a lowland fisherman frequently drove Whale Lord from their feeding grounds due to fear that their pods would eat too many of the area's fish. Some desperate fishermen even organized large-scale hunting expeditions, which drove Whale Lord to near extinction. But a focused anti-hunting campaign at the turn of the century finally led to the protection of Whale Lord in their ancestral habitats. Since then, their population has been steadily recovering. These Whale Lord are gathering off the coast of Akala Island to feed on a seasonal abundance of wishy-washy, small aquatic creatures that account for up to 65% of all deep-sea fish biomass. Capable of diving to depths of up to 3,000 meters, Whale Lord use their massive bodies to guide schools of wishy-washy towards the water's surface. But the wishy-washy are not completely defenseless. The sheer scale of the fishbowl daunts most predators, and combined with their glowing eyes, they send SOS signals, which can be seen almost 40 kilometers away. Now they must wait for whatever comes. The Whale Lord need to act quickly before the wishy-washy have a chance to organize into a more dangerous form. By performing great splashes, the synchronized movements of the wishy-washy become disrupted. Now is their chance. The Whale Lord's vast mouths trap great volumes of water, gulping down the wishy-washy in an instant. This particular female has failed to eat her fill. Soon, her body will be so light that it will become less dense than the air surrounding her. As a result, she will begin to float. No one knows the exact fate of these buoyant Whale Lord. Once a common occurrence, protected sanctuaries near Akala Island have reduced this sight dramatically.